Alrighty, guys and gals, we're back for more singular survival, and look what's right in front of our base that I somehow completely and utterly missed. Silicone. I mean, literally, right here, base, escape ship and everything, silicone. How the hell am I so blind? It just befuddles me, really, how I can be so blind about such things. That said, this isn't nickel, so, I mean, I guess it's understandable that I went looking for nickel and just happened to... Really? Is this nickel? This looks like nickel. Can we mine a piece and... Or was it nickel? God dang it. Well, anyway, now we know we have another source of silicon and nickel way over there. As well as right here at our front door. I'm going to go ahead and mine this, but I'm going to skip ahead because you already saw me have our very successful mining trip in the previous episode, so you don't need to see me do that again. Oh, hey, look. A doggity. Robot dog, not real dog. Close eyes and look away? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't even think I'm hurting it. I think it's just getting pushed gently into the ground a little bit. Well, so much for me skipping past all the mining. We found ourselves being greeted by a cyber dog. So yeah, there's proof right there that I haven't shut them off. I was thinking that maybe I should mention that I didn't shut them off because I hadn't seen one in a while. I did kill it. Okay, you know, now I'm feeling terribly guilty and sick inside. Oh god, that's... I know there's cyber dogs and they're out to get you, but it still makes me sad every time you defeat them. Yeah, I'm doing a modless playthrough, or else I probably would have replaced them with something else by now. Alrighty, let's keep on mining and keep on cutting ahead, so you don't have to see me mine stuff you've already seen. There we go. So yeah, all the mining's done. The ship is stuck. Inventory got full up. I didn't watch the number. Once again, I found myself watching the little thing at the top left. I think this might be the episode I sort of foretold might be coming of me building a better mining ship. I mean, we got so much stuff, we might end up going ahead and just disassembling this ship and disassembling the part of the flying sausage and building up a proper mining ship that is actually going to function better. The only problem is, I worry I'll basically build another flying sausage, another monstrosity. Because the thing is, I don't want to add really too many more drills. Maybe just 6 to 8 drills. Yeah, just 6 to 8 drills. What I want is just for the ship to actually just be able to fly and carry enough weight so we don't have to keep retreating every 2 seconds. What is going on? Why can't I get out of this hole? There we go. I got some, you know, that stone out. I thought I should have enough weight. We managed to fly back to base last time. Oh no. This is not happening. Be good, doggies. Be good, cyber hounds. Okay, that was terrifying. I was like, they're gonna tear the ship apart. They're gonna tear the ship apart while I'm trying to escape at 1 mile per hour. Literally 1.1 meters per second is what I was going at to escape the doggies. Oh, that would have been ridiculous. I did hear like one little row, like it was biting at me, but we seem to be alright. Okay, can we hover without dropping? Yes, we can. Cool. Oh boy, let's dock this thing up and unload the supplies, and I think we're just going to tear this ship down, because really it's not working, is it? it's just way too... It gets overburdened way too quickly. So let's lock it up. It's going to shift all of its inventory out. And then, yeah, let's get to the grinding. Let's just grind this thing down and try to see if we can get this done in maybe 1 or 2 episodes. So first and foremost, goodbye, you. And you know what? You know what we're going to do? Let's do this. Let's do this. Rock and roll, right? Rock and roll. We're going to go ahead and drop you off, all these supplies off into the main cargo container. And now we're just going to, you know what? Even what we're going to do, we're going to drop off that in our welder. And we're just going all out. Let's try to fast forward this stuff and see if we can get it done. Dang. Oh, scheiße. No, not another one, no! Oh, they survived, thank God. Garbage. No. God damn it. No, 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 what's happened? Oh, God. That was, I guess, cutting open a cargo container caused depressurization? Doesn't make any sense, but it happened. Alright. No, God, not again! Phew, it survived, thank God. Why the hell did these little ones survive while the big ones just instantly vanished? I hate that so much. And uranium taken, reactor shut down. Cool. No, not random venting. What the heck in heck? That's very odd. I don't understand why it does that. Alrighty. So guys and gals, there we go. We've gone ahead and disassembled the whole ship except for its little baby connector. No! I hate that. Oh, and 3 pieces there apparently. Okay, never mind. The whole ship's not done yet. We still gotta get rid of those thrusters so we can actually get the thruster components back. Okay, there we go. And I know I said thruster components, I just meant the components that make up that thruster, not really legitimate thruster components. And there's a few things. I really do hate that those little tiny atmospheric thrusters can hit the ground and be absolutely fine. But as you probably saw there, a single large, small ship but large atmospheric thruster hits the ground and it instantly just goes pop and ceases to exist. Which is pretty disheartening, really, and infuriating. Anyway, there we go. We've gone ahead and disassembled that ship. Hopefully in the edit that will be super duper quick. In reality, that was about 20 minutes of cutting. And now we can go ahead and start ourselves a new mining craft that isn't going to have so many issues. And we're basically going to start this one up here. Let's see, do we have a... Yeah, we have a construction component. So, I'm going to start another ship, and we're going to start it like this time. Cool. And from there, we're actually going to come on down, and I'm going to do exactly what I said I was going to do, which is basically, I'm going to skip ahead until this design is pretty much done and in. That way you guys don't have to see 300 hours of me, oh, do I really want it like that? Should it be like that? I don't know. I'm uneasy about this piece here. So hopefully I'll just, cut ahead or fast forward, and you'll see a lovely large structure just complete, or not complete, but planned out, and then we'll start welding it up. Or part of the way complete, because if I think about it, I can't weld up the center of it. If blah, 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 you get my drift. So we're going to cut ahead now to some slightly more forward point. Oh god, the pain. Oh, my back. Oh, that hurt. Okay. Anyway, the ship is come along quite a bit. It's actually been about a week since I last recorded. In fact, I sort of stopped mid working on it because I can't remember anymore. It's been so long. But the point is, I've redesigned this ship probably 4 or 5 times at this point, where I've built out the whole thing, decided I didn't like it, and cut it all down. In fact, I even went to another world, a creative world, and tested some thrusters because I realized that I hate the large thrusters, these guys, because there's no way to easily build them into your ship. Because if you stick them with cowling all around them, you still get this big triangular curved piece right here. That's not going to have anything at all in it. So I went ahead and tested how powerful are small thrusters. It turns out, basically, the amount of volume taken up by small thrusters versus a large thruster means small thrusters are actually more powerful. So if I was to fill this area with 9 small thrusters, they'd have more power than this one big one. Now that said, they do require more power per area. So That's why I have a bunch of reactors stuck in right here and right here. And you can see I've been welding them up. I've been welding up some stuff because I needed to get the center line welded up, or else I just wouldn't be able to work on anything else. So that's why the whole ship isn't just, you know, one big unwelded shell. I needed to get the insides sort of functioning. I've also gone ahead, and if we fly back here, I've been hopping in this cockpit because it works pretty well to get your hydrogen back and everything. I've also gone ahead, and if we look at main storage, I've burnt through all of the computers that we had here, so out of those. But if I search computer, we still got a few in construction. All of our solar cells that we queued up have been finished, at least a fair few of them. And then what else is there? I've also started building reactor components. So there you go, we got 200 and something of these. In fact, we should probably just go to main storage and drop off everything else that we don't need except for the reactor components. And I'm not really using the big welding ship, the Flying Sausage, just because it is such a faff to use. It becomes a bit of a pain in the arse to fly it around and get anything done with it. As I mentioned in the past, I'm planning on probably tearing down the Flying Sausage. I'm thinking now I'm going to retrofit it, so maybe it'll just be like a cargo craft or some sort of exploration craft. But for the time being, the Flying Sausage is pretty much not going to have too much use. I'll probably take it and finish grinding down everything else there. Once we go ahead and come up with a better plan to, well, yeah, I'll go grind down everything here except for the batteries over there, because we're still going to be using a ship to move those up to the top here eventually. And I'm going to do that also once we actually move the medical bay, because we still haven't done that, because we still haven't made our actual living floor on our escape craft. Alrighty, should we name the escape craft Icarus? So we'll fly up there and instantly have all of our thrusters pop off. Okay, reactor. So yeah, that's what's been going on. I figured I should probably actually record a little bit here and just give you guys a heads up on what I'm doing, instead of all of a sudden the video cutting forward to a completely finished ship, or else you might think I did it all in creative mode, which has been a bit tempting, but I've been figuring, you know what, this is a survival series and I wanted to get a feeling of the game too, so it's probably best that I actually do it without any cheatsy doodling. And so far, actually, to tell you the truth, it's been pretty enjoyable. Even though the game is a bit slow and I'm only on times, what was it, 3 inventory and times 1 everything else, so far it's actually been fairly enjoyable just going ahead and slowly making progress. Now I have to say, when I got the cameras going, it always feels like I need to make a little bit faster progress, so hence the reason we've been cutting a bit more ahead. Overall, it's been pretty damn good. Also, I did get feedback on everyone's sort of opinions, or lack thereof, on hello goodbyes for episodes, and I think I'm going to try to keep it to an objective per episode. So, our episode for this was, for objective per this episode, I should say, was to get our new mining ship up and running, or at least planned out, and I'd say we've succeeded relatively well with getting it planned out. Next up, I'm going to finish welding up all the center stuff. You can see we got a gyroscope in there. I'm going to go ahead and stick a remote control block and everything, probably like right here on the center beam. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. And then I'm going to start building its body around it and putting tons and tons of small thrusters in, since they do seem to have, you know, volume-wise, the same amount of power, and in fact more power than these big sons of guns. So, you know, you could stick 9 small thrusters in the space of this, and they have more power. They require more power, but like I said, got all these reactors. Also probably going to stick some batteries in, like right here. Maybe out to like 2, like 1 right there, and then 1 right there. I think that might work. Either that, or I'm going to stick them up here, because we got a fair amount. Yeah, we can stick them in like this. I think that's probably what I'll do. And then the ship will have a little tiny opening, so we'll be able to get in and out of it from the top. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go back to either cutting ahead or fast forwarding, whatever I've decided to do whilst editing. Yeah. Oh, also I've been running and getting a little bit of ice, just with my drill. I'll take it out of a crate and drill some ice and then bring it back here. Once I did take this ship out there and just fill its cargo containers up manually and then brought it back and dropped it off. That's what I'm doing. Okay, it's been quite a few hours actually. I even went ahead and recorded joint survival stuff with the guys. Well, I didn't record it, they recorded it, I was there. But anyway, I've come back, I've finished getting the ship all together. I think I explained most of the inner workings before I put the outer shell on, I hope so. No idea if I have any of the footage from me actually building this all up, but as you can see, I've got the actual shell of the ship in, quite a few thrusters for downward thrust, as well as on the bottom here, upwards thrust. You can even see I got some offset here. Pretty cool. I got little thrusters in here pointing backwards, so hopefully we'll have some thrust in here. And then all these side thrusters stuck into the side here. Very strange ship, almost reminiscent of Battlestar or something at first glance. When you're close up, you can sort of see its front section, middle section where the pods would be, and then back engine section. From the top, it ends up becoming a bit plain. I didn't want it bumping out too much though, or I would have runs going across the top to give it more detail. Only thing I'm worried about when it comes to this ship actually mining now is just this section here that bumps out too from this drill, so a little worried about that. We'll find out when we get to it. What I'm going to do at this point is actually go ahead and grab our ship over here. Oh, and by the way, I do have a plan to put right here in this opening, I'm going to put in a ore detector right in there. Maybe dart some lights about the thing, you don't know. We'll deal with that once we get to it actually working. So what I'm going to do at this point is simply go to this, turn off my jetpack since we're not don't want to waste fuel. Go over to our main storage. So, yep, main cargo container. We're not really going to need any glass. I don't think we're going to need any interior plates, but we are going to need a lot of those. 1,000,000,001 motors. Whatever, let's just go ahead and get to it and see what we can weld up by hopping to this cockpit, pressing P to disconnect our ship, floating away. It's such an oddity, this craft, with its 1,000,000,001 welders. And drift our ship over here to our mining craft, which doesn't have a name. I'm figuring if you would be so kind, suggest names in the description down below, because I really don't have a name for it. And if I name it, honestly, it's just going to be BM for Battlestar Miner 1 or something like that. BM1, which isn't exactly the bummy. It just sounds pretty bad. So gonna need a proper name for it. If you guys don't come up with one, I guess it's going to end up becoming a very nut by the numbers sort of name. There we go. And got our welders all on. You can see them kicking off and welding and a whole bunch of stuff. It really sucks that welders have such a very limited range on them. So one of the I could have sworn that in the old days welders could reach a bit farther than this, but maybe I'm just thinking of a large ship / station welders. But as it is right now, it feels like these welders have, well, fairly limited range, where they're not really able to reach too much at all. Because I get the feeling they're not even really welding up most of this stuff, just like the top layer. It's still quicker than going by it all by hand, but obviously it's still not the quickest thing on Earth. And of course, if we manage to bump it, it's going to destroy everything. Because as people have pointed out, this ship has, well, it's super duper massive, which is dangerous to say the least. Let's go ahead and try to position ourselves over here and fly in towards it. Times like this, I really wish this game had some Vive support, so we could, oh god, just know how far away we are from things just instantaneously. Be a bit nice. Oh boy. Can't really see what the hell's going on. I just know stuff is getting welded and everything's glowing like crazy. Oh boy, oh boy. You can see it's welding up a few panels farther in, but yeah, not too much. Let's move to our left here and hope we don't snag that connector. Oh, I think it was pushed on everything. One of the most terrifying ideas right now is honestly that I'd break the landing gear and stuff holding this thing onto the solar outreach, and the whole thing would just topple out of the sky. Basically destroying the hours upon hours of work I've put into this ship, because I have actually put, at this point, probably around 4, maybe more hours into creating this cargo ship. And that means like going into other worlds and just testing thruster outputs and stuff. I haven't actually built this ship before. This is, I didn't build a blueprint and bring it in here. I was just, building very simple pylons to test stuff. Nothing too advanced. So this will be the first time this ship is tested once we get it all together. It does have 4 batteries in there that I believe I showed earlier. Those will basically be enough power for us to probably not fly with, but enough for us to at least have a little bit of backup, and also to be able to get uranium into, I believe, the 6 reactors we have in there. Large reactors. And there. Whew, the whole outside pretty much welded up. The main bulk of it. We're going to go ahead and do some spot welding. But I actually managed to get far more with this than I thought. And even though originally I thought I didn't get any of those thrusters, it turned out that upon further investigation, it looks like we actually did get quite a few of them. And I missed that pretty badly. Jesus, we don't want to go like that and hit the ceiling. Whew. Okay, lock that down. Cool. So let's go back, just do a quick check to see what all we did miss. See, we got most of these thrusters up and running. You look a little... Yeah, you're not done, but you got all your supplies. Awesome. What about you? Are you the same? No, unfortunately, we're going to have to go get... Oh, no, you got all your supplies as well. Shoot. So yeah, it looks like most of this stuff is ready to go. Just a few things just didn't get welded up all the way. But look at this. We even got like a whole bottom sections done and all that. It's awesome. There's just some stuff in here, the harder to reach areas that the welders could not get to. Need some welding lasers that can just target things specifically. And it looks like we still got some motors and metal grids and stuff we gotta ship over here to finish this up. We're gonna go ahead and do that right now. But I'm probably not gonna go ahead and record all of that. There's no need in you having to watch me chug back and forth between things, moving parts over for some of these little thrusters that were missed in welding up all these tiny little blocks by hand. Boy, oh boy, this ship's about ready for its maiden voyage. Alright, that is that. Everything done. What we can do now is actually, let's first and foremost just hop in the cockpit. Bink, and hold space. And that. Yeah, we'll be able to run at that for, wow, not very long. A couple minutes holding spacebar. That's not exactly ideal. But what we can do is, and that's just off batteries, the reactors are all empty right now, but what we could do is, let's see, connector 2, this is connector rock disposal. I believe I talked about this where I have a sorter leading to this, and this is connector 3, which we're going to rename to connector minor docking. Okay, and then conveyor sorter, conveyor, also rename this, because remember, naming stuff is actually somewhat important, and we probably want to name it the ways we would want it to be named. We just want this set to be stone and nothing more. Stone, there you go. Add that. It's a whitelist, so it's only going to allow this one item in the list to be pulled through. We're going to tell it to, well, we'll keep drain all off for the time being. Cool. In our cockpit, we're also going to go ahead and find all of our drills. So we'll select all of our drills, group these up. Right now I'm just using miner as the name. We'll name it from small grid to something else. Well, actually, even go ahead and just name this miner for the time being until you guys come up with a name, or I come up with one, whichever happens first, I guess, or maybe if you guys don't come up with one I like, I should say. Okie dokie. So let's press G now. Let's go ahead and select... Where are you? What we're looking for, there we go. Rock disposal, so we'll toggle... we should be able to toggle on and off, throw out, yes. Turn that on and off so it can throw out stone, and stone should always be sorted into it. Cool. As for groups, we got this, so we can take you down to right here on number 3 slot and tell you to toggle on and off. Cool. And then just standard weapons and stuff, we'll go ahead and put that in number 2 so we can click and use that manually. Cool. And you can see getting in and out of the cockpit actually works, believe it or not. Awesome. Last thing we need to do is actually go into here and say cargo, and we need to name all these minor underscore cargo and maybe number them. So minor underscore cargo. And this was number 13, apparently. So we'll just go like this, Control A, Control C, Control V, and this can be 13. Okay, there we go, and I named them, actually changed the numbering up. We're going to switch this over to just 0. Right, like so, there we go. So it's 0 to 21, technically that's an even number because we have 0. Coolio. Awesome. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick save right there. Make sure everything's saved in. The antenna itself, we're also going to go ahead and select you, antenna, and just set you to a minor so we know what you are. Remote control block, no need to do anything with you currently. We'll set that up for if we're ever remote controlling it from afar. We'll set that up later. Oh, it's a... Oof, I did not hold up either. It just flew me into it. Anyway, pretty nifty. Backside's a bit bland. Some of the ship. I like the sides. I like the overall idea of it. I just wish I could put more detail in here. Here I can't because of the thrusters, and then over the top. But again, I'm not doing that because of fear of, basically once we're mining up something, having collisions. I'm even still worried about this portion here sticking out farther than the drill by 2 blocks instead of just 1. So we'll find out if we have trouble once we actually start mining. Alright, for the ship itself, let's go ahead and grab ourselves some uranium so we can make it to Maiden voyage. Hop in here, select uranium, pull some out of... Okay, well that's not good. We'll pull some out of all of these. Boy oh boy, we are short on uranium, aren't we? That is bad. Let's hop out of this, and let's hop back into up here at least. Cool. And let's actually do a really quick check on our GPS. God almighty. GPS, do we have uranium stored anywhere here? We do. Hopefully, that's not something we've already mined up. I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here. We're using spectator cheat sheet. Fly ourselves over here really quickly. Just to see if there is... Yes, we should still have more uranium. Oh yeah, this was somewhere we dug down to. Did we really fit that old ship down here? That's impressive. I didn't think that ship would fit. Wow, it's a very thin seam. We're going to bring our new ship over and then right-click drill our way down there, I think. So, we've checked that it's still there. Let's go ahead and put some uranium into our inventories here. And this cockpit is piped in, so reactors... yeah, 4 in there, 4 in there, 4 in there, and 4 in here. We should have 2 more reactors. Yeah, we shouldn't need them all. If we do space now, you can see we can run at 36 minutes with fuel like that. That is awesome. We're going to do one more addition to the ship before we go ahead and really set sail. Simply, first and foremost, we're going to remove this connection. Wow, and that just fell off. I kind of expected it just to hover. That was terrifying. Let's actually even do a save. And a save as, just in case the entire universe decides to take a dump on us. There we go. So now save 30 will be our fallback if save 31 just runs into it. What's happening? Why is this ship going downwards? What? Are you telling me it's too heavy? But I did so many tests. Don't explode, please, just land. I did so many tests. Well, that works fine. Brilliant. Okay, well, clearly I need to find a way to put some more forward and backwards and down thrusts in. Forward and backwards actually looks like it's alright. It's downwards that I guess we're in trouble with. Why the hell? Yeah, it's downwards we're in trouble with. Sweet Swiss cheese. Alrighty, so that's not good. Damn. All that work and it still sinks like a rock. Great. Okay, well, clearly this ship needs a little bit more love. I'm going to go ahead and tweak it just a little bit more real quick. Let's even fly it up a little bit. That way I have some maneuvering room so we can do some tests with it. So now up here we're even going to roll onto its left side. And yeah, our speed is gaining, which means it's falling. God dang. Okay, aim up, save it. God dang it. Well, on this little test world I did, I put just a few little tiny thrusters, and they were able to hold quite a bit. Very odd, no mods, pretty much like this world, so sort of surprised that this is falling as quickly as it is, but, well, it is. What am I to say? Let's go ahead and just try to land this ship gently on the ground. We'll power it down, that way we're not wasting a bunch of power just keeping this ship running. And I'm going to basically tweak it up a little bit more and try to make sure it will actually hover. Because as is right now, it's actually worse off than our previous ship. Which is, of course, bad. Come on, land. You should start going downwards, shouldn't you? No? Now you're just... Okay, you are going down very, very slowly. Right. There. Awesome. Power down. Let's get all this fixed somehow.